Guys, we got to jump into our first topic of this fine evening or morning, whenever you're watching it. I want to ask the question, though. So, guys, I ran a poll. I don't know if you got to see this on my channel, right? And I ran a couple different polls, but I did ask the people, I asked the collectors out there, how many 1/6 scale figures is ideal for your collection? And I originally, this banner was right. I had 43%. It's now changed to 42%, but still close enough, right? How many 1/6 scale figures is the ideal amount for your collection? 25 to 50 figures is the winner here at 42%. Less than 10 figures, 17%. 50 to 80 figures, which is a lot of figures, 16%. 90 to 125 figures, 8%. 125 plus figures at 17%. So that was tied for second place, 125 plus. It's a lot of figures. Optical, got to start with you first on this one, dude. What does this tell you? Because 42% of collectors seem to be pretty moderate with their collecting habits. That's probably about where I'm at. I think I have like 45, 47, something like that. And I can have about 50 figures. So I'm like right in that ballpark. Optical, you're a little bit higher though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm probably in the 125 plus.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Group,
wait, what?
He is, bro. He has a lot.
Dude,
you know what? Dude, I'm telling you, the Asmus deal that came through recently, I think that's what put you over the 100 mark.
The Hobbit itself is 4. There's like I got 4 Hobbits. So.
And Star Ace. Oh,
Star
man.
Oh, it's all Star Ace. Yeah, that's true.
Star Ace.
Yeah, it's all Star Ace and Asmus.
Man, okay, so let's analyze this. What is modest? When has 50 been modest?
Dude, 50 is modest in our game, bro. You know this.
Damn, I thought 50 was a lot. You know, like
because each figure is minimum $200. That's what, 10 grand. So more than that, right?
That's not modest, dude.
Damn.
Well, think about 125, bro.
Okay, let's put it this way, right? In a big scope, you do YouTube, so it makes sense for you to have 50. If I don't do YouTube, maybe I'll have, I don't know, 20, dude. 25, maybe. Maybe I don't know. But 25 to 50. Okay, let's focus on that number because 125 is second place. So that's what it tells you is that there's a lot of addicted people right there. I don't know why Sideshow is having a hard time moving stock. I'm a little confused about these numbers, but 25 to 50, I guess that's the sweet spot. If we are talking about, I think that is where you have enough, but you can still display them.
I love how you're like, that's not modest.
but let's be honest, 50 is not modest, right? Like I guess 20 is modest, right? Like 20.
Yeah, 20 is modest, probably.
10, because if you do 10, right, like the first one, less than 10, if one per DTOF, one, and that's can we say that the ideal? Not everyone's gonna buy module case. Right. If you say you got a DTOF and the ideal display is maximum of 2, can we all agree on that? Maximum of 2 figures in one cab,
right?
Because if you do 3 is kind of like pushing it. You do 4, it's kind of crowded, you know. So if we put 2, so the entire row, you got 8. So you got 1 DTOF. I guess you get 2. That's modest. You get 2 DTOFs, 2 each, so you get 16. You get 50. God damn, how many DTOFs is that?
Yeah, we got to factor in the display cases too. And DTOFs are now like $120. So
yeah, so 120. Now. So I guess 25 figures, that's still like 4 or 5 DTOFs. And that's a big chunk of your basement or your living room or whatever. So I guess like I would say 25 to 50. So that tells me that people still likes to buy 1/6, and there's like a huge fucking market for it. And people are willing to spend, you know. So I'm happy. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm at the 125. So
well, it also tells you too, Optical. Think about it this way: like if they have 25 to 50 figures, and Hot Toys has released this year like 45 figures, somewhere around there. So, you know, people are going to have to be trading in and out, which maybe could explain why the market is so shitty. Because for one, it's oversaturated. And then also people like myself sometimes trading in and out, and you have to sell for less, and then everything goes down. And then you're buying for, maybe you're pre-ordering or buying for new. So you're losing money each time you do that.
Yeah.
So that's another, maybe I think it's overproduction too, simply put. But, you know, I don't know. PJ, what do you think, bro? I mean, what does this tell you, this number here?
Like Optical said, we are addicted to 1/6, man. first of all, like I did the math. So 125 figures times like a minimum, like say average Hot Toy figures 200. That equates to like $25,000. Like, oh my gosh, like that is an insane amount of money. I think I was at that point when I was like really actively collecting a lot of Hot Toys. I was close to it, like at least like 120. I obviously, you know, in the past year and a half, I kind of like sold a lot of figures and you know, sold it for like, you know, more money to buy like statues and stuff. But honestly though, I'm in the right now, I'm in like the 25 to 50 range right now. I still have a lot of figures that I'm still gonna probably sell. I'm just kind of like gauging the market to see if it's the right time to sell it. Just because you know you don't want to lose too much money on selling like a Lando. I
Dude,
mean,
you totally will.
oh
Yeah,
my gosh, like this is why we can't have nice things because you know Hot Toys is. I mean, the collectors have always been asking for Lando, and then they finally give us a Lando, and it's not even sold out. Even the Captain Rex, I think it's still available. It's just that, yeah, I just think that Hot Toys is going even harder with producing a lot of figures, like every single time. Like, my gosh, I wish I was still kind of live streaming or doing content because, well, I know Optical is having a field day with all those
with all the previews,
all the preview videos. I mean, back then it was just like,
yeah,
oh man, but now it's just like, dude, like every week there's at least 2 or 3 new announcements or new releases. No, I just, dude, it's getting kind of like out of hand now, and I'm not sure how this is gonna play out in the future. But man, I mean, 125 figures, that's a lot, but man, they're still producing more, and it's like there's more shows that's being made, and there's gonna be more figures. I mean, God knows like how many figures Hot Toys is gonna pump out when Spider-Man 2 comes out, the game. I mean, how many figures did we get from the first game, right?
right.
So now you got, I don't know. It's just a crazy market right now, and I'm wondering how the future will look. But right now I'm in the 25 to 50 mark.
Because PJ, look, so this, yeah, I've been keeping track of this year, right? So we have about 44 releases thus far this year. Maybe even more than that, because the Trooper, maybe 45. I got to count. I think there were 2 different Troopers and a Bark Speeder. So like, I don't know how you're counting that exactly, but maybe 45 releases, right?
Yeah,
that's significant, right? That's a lot of figures to be factoring in. And you know, as far as announcements go, it's not far off from what. Yeah, it's like 41. So it's really not that far off, and that's just announcements of things that are to come. So you know, it's a lot, man. I got to ask you, because I know like my one of my really good friends Kiko does this too. 125 plus figures. PJ and I are obviously a little bit different stage. Like we're in the 25 to 50, and that's about max what I can have with these Magic cases, and I don't plan on expanding beyond that. Dude, how do you manage 125? I don't think I could do it, bro. But I've seen people like yourself and Kiko and other collectors who will watch this, I'm sure, do it really effectively. But to me, though, dude, I've moved collectibles. That would be so stressful to move 125 plus figures, dude. I don't know how you manage that many. Does it feel stressful ever to you?
In a way, but the thing is, I'm not like you or Kiko who displays them though. I have, everyone's gonna be surprised. I got 3 D12s. And the one that I said earlier, that is the optimal way of displaying a figure, right? Like when I say 2, that's the, I would say optimal, which is you highlight the, the beauty of the figure. Well, I don't do that because I put 5. Put 5 in there. I almost treat them as just a cabinet. I'll just put them in. As far as display, I'm not gonna lie, I like statues better. Like those 3, if I can have more statues or quarter scale, I like them as a display piece. However, I use Hot Toys, I think I've said this before, as a tool. Like a carpenter with his tools, I use Hot Toys as a tool for my photography and my videos. So now I'm in a stage where they're not a display piece for me anymore. They're more of my tools. Like I bought Carnage specifically to have a fight scene with Venom, not to display him per se. I was still gonna display him, but like, look, Venom is right here standing. I stop the thought process of how am I going to display these guys? No. So I'll be like, all right, I'll get one and just put them there, and maybe I'll pick them up one day. So
Gotcha. So it's more like for photography and just for personal fulfillment and stuff like that.
right, yeah. I just gave up. I'm not saying anyone should follow what I do because this is not optimal. Like putting a $400 figure here being dusted off, but
Right.
that's just where I'm at.
I just want to know what this business model is going to do for Hot Toys, because obviously the average collector cannot keep up. I mean, I could be totally wrong. Maybe there is a people out there that have tons of money and tons of space, but for an average collector to kind of keep up with a lot of these releases, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I really took myself out of the Hot Toys collecting game. Just because, like, back then, I think when I was streaming with you guys a lot, I mean, I think I told you, "Oh, guys, I'm done with Marvel. I'm selling all my Marvel figures. I'm just gonna stick to Star Wars. I think that's a safe place." Shoot, I was totally wrong. You know,
Nope.
now
Not
I,
safe
I,
at
I
all.
mean, like I was like, I saw kind of the writing on the wall when they got, they start producing clones, right? I was like, oh man, they could really run away with this, and they did. They did run away with it. And honestly, though, like, you gotta be even have a well, for me, I'm gonna have a bigger focus because I cannot keep up with all the Star Wars Hot Toys releases. I mean, unless I'm just only collecting Star Wars figures and that's it. I'm not collecting statues, I'm not collecting props, I'm not collecting helmets. But to me, it's kind of boring to collect that way.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of gotten big into the idea of diversifying the collection. That's been just something that
Mhm,
I've approached. I mean, everyone's going to be different. Some people have a really all 1/6 scale display and it looks great.
mhm.
I've just,
Yeah.
like you said, PJ, I have some props, I have art prints, I have statues, hot toys. Like,
Yeah.
I like a lot of different things. And I think it makes your collection look dynamic and diverse, you know?
I agree, and you get to enjoy different things, but, like, I
Right.
I just don't wanna pigeonhole myself into, like, just one aspect of just collecting, which is just 1/6 collecting Star Wars figures. To me, that could kinda runs its course pretty quickly for me,
Right.
so
Right. Yeah, and if everyone's going to be different, but yeah, I mean, we got so many different releases this year, and we're only a little over halfway through the year, and yeah, 44, 45 releases and about
mhm,
41 to 42 announcements. So uh,
yeah.
that's nothing to to scoff at. Like it's something for sure that you need to pay attention to, and you have to think about too how many people are actually buying. I think most collectors, I said, I ran a different poll at some point, 7 to 10 hot toys per year they buy. So if there's 50 announcements, if there's probably 70 by the end of the year, 70 to 75, maybe 80 releases, and then maybe 70 announcements, and people are buying 10% of those, what does that say about the market? It's like,
And Will, to put it to numbers, that's kind of modest, like
Mhm,
10%.
right,
And an average hot toys nowadays is $300. Even the cheapest one, which is Shang-Chi, which is 250.
right,
I'm guessing that it's one of the cheaper hot toys. By the time it gets out of checkout, that's $320
right,
shipping. You put another tax in there, and
mhm,
that's like almost $300. So
right,
if you buy 10, which is kind of like, let's just say once a month, you're still missing out on the 90% of hot toys that they release.
right.
mhm.
So that's still a big chunk, and that's considered your not even modest. You're kind of like a newbie at that point, right? Kind of like
Yeah.
doing
12 a year. Yeah, 12 a
12
year.
a year. Not to make fun of the word newbie, but that's really that's like a lot of
That's probably
willpower.
about what I'll end up like. And honestly, I think my hot toy spending might slow down a little bit just because of, the amount of space that I have. But 12 a year is probably about, I don't think I'm going to hit 12 a year moving forward, or this
Yeah.
year, probably.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a lot of
I
willpower too.
no, I definitely not gonna hit, like, 10 this year,
Right.
honestly. Just because I have, like, this, like, complete the line mentality. Like, if there is,
Yep.
like, I just it's just that I have this OCD where I just can't, like, only I cannot just only get just Captain Rex. I gotta get, Ahsoka. I gotta get this. I gotta get the 501st. I gotta get Captain Vaughn, Captain, like all these Commander Jesse. It's just like I just, it's just especially with the bark speeder, it's like you just can't get just the speeder. You gotta get the figures, you gotta collect the line. And that's why
Kind of snowballs.
it's just, yeah, it snowballs.
Yep.
And just next thing you know, you're like 30 in the hole. And I just literally just took myself out of it. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna get the figures that I absolutely love, and that's it. That I know for a fact that I won't sell it I know for a fact that I won't go through the selling process and get frustrated with it or lose money on it. I'm just gonna just buy to keep, you know.
That's how I've gotten to PJ. And like, for example, one optical too that I'm just about to pick up is Cad Bane, because Cad Bane, I know, bro. Like Cad Bane was easy. Like that was something I'm like, I gotta have Cad Bane. It's easy. Or Bane from the Dark Knight Rises, the remake they're about to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's same thing. Like that's an easy one. I'm like, yeah, I'll pre-order that, no doubt. You know, but anything short of that, PJ, yeah, I don't really buy it. Like I feel the temptation of it, but I don't buy it anymore because for one, I don't have anywhere to display it. And two, like the amount of money, like you might end up selling it later or whatever. Like I think nowadays, man, you just got to be like, sure. It's hard, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, like I bought like Lando for a good price, like which is like $200. Now it's like on Sideshow for 175. Even if I wanted to sell that Lando, I would have to sell it for 160 and then
maybe
if I maybe 150. I think 150 is a sure thing. But
150 can you imagine? Is kind of like somebody's going to message you, would you take 130?
Right, they probably would.
It's always going to be one. Always one.
Would you take 120?
Oh no. No way.
But I think PJ, honestly, to sell him relatively quickly, I think you'd probably end up about 140, 150.
140, yeah.
Which is a shame.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy because I bought him for $200 and I thought that was a steal of a price.
Yep.
You know? Times have changed since when I first started collecting, where Hot Toys was, I mean, you were begging for some
character too.
Yeah, dude.
And people have been like begging for him to be made for a long time. And he finally did. I guess they overproduced him, or there wasn't a lot of demand. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, times have changed, man. Oh my goodness.
But hey, it's so interesting to see, because we are collecting for the love of it. But yeah, I mean, you got to think about this too if you ever need to sell or something goes wrong. So
yeah. And that's, like I said, like a part of me. That's why I kind of almost left the game. I'm 90% out. It's just because like I said, I just don't want to have that stress feeling, the stress level, like of just like trying to complete the line. Oh my God, here comes another one. Oh, here comes another one. Oh, I gotta have this. I gotta have it. And yeah, I just don't want to put myself in that position again. So
understandable. Well, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below about how many Hot Toys you want to pick up per year, and of course, how many Hot Toys you want to ideally have in your collection. Really interesting, and I always love that you guys are willing to vote in these polls and give us some data to interpret. So I think it's pretty cool.